Hello everyone and welcome back to Ruby Tarot. Thank you so much for always supporting and following the channel. The moment you're watching this video is the right time for you to receive its message. On this channel, I always bring you guidance about what's about to unfold in your life. When you open yourself to and believe in positive possibilities, you are also connecting with a parallel reality, one where your wishes have already come true. Today, through this tarot reading, I hope to help you uncover the possibilities of the future, supporting you on your journey to finding love and turning your dreams into reality. The topic of today's reading is, what will change in your life within the next month? I'll be focusing on this 1-month time frame to explore the upcoming shifts and movements. Now, please choose one of the 3 piles I've prepared. There are 3 representative cards for you to select from: Pile 1, Pile 2, and Pile 3. Listen to your intuition and choose the card you feel most drawn to. Then, click the corresponding timestamp in the description to jump to your reading. Let's begin the reading with those of you who have already made your selection. Hello, Pile 1. Thank you for your patience. Now, I will begin the reading for those of you who chose Pile number 1. I hope this reading will bring you healing, fresh insights, and moments filled with love. Today, we will focus on the topic: what will change 1 month from now? First, we'll take a look at the present, the recent past, and the energy surrounding you at this time. Then, I will uncover what lies ahead in the future, specifically 1 month from this very moment. From the cards drawn, it seems that you've recently gone through something that didn't turn out as you had hoped. A card symbolizing a shift in fate has appeared. This suggests that you had placed a lot of expectations on something, only to be met with disappointment. It may have been an incident, a sudden turn of events, or simply that things didn't unfold the way you had envisioned, leaving you feeling let down. It's also possible that you pinned your hopes on something entirely new, a beginning, an opportunity, or a relationship that you believed would lead to a brighter future. You were genuinely excited and felt, "This is it. This is what I've been looking for all along." But that excitement quickly faded, or it didn't hold up the way you had imagined. In terms of personal relationships, perhaps you met someone who made you believe the two of you could build something meaningful together. And while the time spent together may have been enjoyable and full of charm, you found yourself thinking, it's just not quite what you imagined. There's a sense of disappointment, a subtle realization that something doesn't live up to the initial hope or expectation. Similarly, if you've been working on a project, you may have truly believed, this is definitely going to succeed. All the initial signs seemed positive, even thrilling. But gradually something began to feel off. You started to question, is this really what I want to pursue? Or why don't I feel as fulfilled as I thought I would? All of this reflects a gap between expectation and reality, a disconnect between the ideal you envisioned and the reality you're now facing. That's why you might be feeling unsure, wondering, was choosing this path the right decision? There's a subtle unease taking root within. If you've recently let something go, you might also be carrying some lingering regret, quietly asking yourself whether that choice was truly right. Feelings of emptiness, disillusionment, or even a sense that your expectations have been betrayed, these emotions are clearly present in your current energy. I get the sense that many of you tuning into this reading are focused on matters of the heart, romantic concerns, or personal relationships in general. However, if your focus is on work or a specific project, the energy is still very relevant. For example, perhaps you didn't get the results you hoped for, or the course of events hasn't flowed the way you originally imagined. But what stands out most strongly in the cards is the energy of human connection. The dynamics between people feel especially pronounced, especially when it comes to love. For those of you currently in a romantic relationship, you may have once believed that this person was the one you would journey with for the long haul. The two of you have likely spent enough time together to form a vision of a shared future. However, lately you seem to be sensing a growing distance, a kind of misalignment beginning to form. It's not that the feelings are entirely gone, but something no longer resonates the way it once did. A part of you feels unfulfilled, as if something essential is missing. For others, this sense of conflict or disconnect may be playing out within a family relationship or a long-standing friendship. You may have thought that this bond would always remain steady, naturally evolving in a positive direction. But now, you're beginning to realize that things aren't unfolding in the way you had once imagined. Likewise, if you've been working at the same place for years, perhaps you once thought, I'll be here forever, or this is where I'll devote my entire career. But recently, doubts may have crept in. Is this truly the right place for me? Or could something else be waiting for me out there? All of these emotions are clearly reflected through the card representing your current environment, the Justice card. Justice speaks of decision-making and the pursuit of balance. In your present circumstances, I strongly sense that those around you, whether it's a romantic partner or people in your surrounding environment, seem to have already made up their minds. They have chosen their direction and are now moving forward with determination, following the path they believe is right for them. Meanwhile, you're still hesitating. You might feel that you're not quite ready to follow that rhythm, not entirely in agreement with their decision, or simply that your emotions are moving at a slower pace than everything unfolding around you. This mismatch in tempo between you and others, or between you and your current circumstances, makes it difficult for you to feel a true sense of stability. Looking at the reading as a whole, the cards suggest that a shift has already taken place. Either you've consciously made a change yourself, or your surroundings have begun moving in a new direction. But the people around you, whether individuals or organizations, seem to have already reached a clear decision and are no longer waiting for you to catch up. For example, if this concerns your work environment, the company may have set a new strategic course, stabilized its structure, and now you're left facing the question, do I still belong here? While the outside world is beginning to settle, internally, you're experiencing a period of deep emotional turbulence. You may be drawing close to a major decision, a personal turning point. You might feel the urge to shed everything that's been weighing you down, to release what no longer aligns with who you are, in search of lightness and clarity. It's clear that this is a time of profound transformation in your life. However, I also sense that perhaps you once believed you had initiated a change, but the outcome didn't turn out the way you had hoped. Maybe the motivation or emotion that led you to that decision didn't truly arise from the deepest core of your being. It's possible you acted out of a desire to change, but without being fully connected to your innermost voice. And that's what created this lingering feeling. Why did I try so hard and still feel that something isn't quite right, isn't truly complete? Right now, you are on a journey back to your most authentic self, the raw, original version of who you are. It seems that those around you are also beginning to reach deeper into the core of their own souls. Perhaps they've started to recognize the path that truly aligns with who they are. As for you, maybe you once thought, this is who I am, this is what's right, only to now realize that something about that no longer feels completely true. You're beginning to see that the things you once believed in or took for granted as truths may not be entirely as they seemed. And so now is the time for you to begin redefining your own path. You're entering a phase where you must make a decision that arises entirely from your heart and your true essence. Looking ahead to the future, specifically 1 month from now, a magnificent card has appeared, the Queen of Wands. This card indicates that you'll come to a clear realization of who you truly are and begin living from the center of your own life. You become the sovereign of both your inner and outer worlds, and from that place of grounded authenticity, you begin to attract many people toward you. Others will be drawn to your natural charisma, your radiant energy, and your vibrant presence. They will be compelled to approach you and seek meaningful connection with you. The feeling you radiate at that point becomes unmistakably clear. You are the one steering the flow of your life. No longer drifting along the trajectory set by others, you are now beginning to chart your own course, on your own terms, in your own way. Alongside this, the Page of Cups appears in reverse, signaling that you are gradually becoming less influenced by others' emotions or external input. You're no longer easily swayed by what people say or how they look at you. You're fully immersed in your own world and genuinely committed to it. Because of this, I sense that in the coming month, you are, or will be, entering a phase of profound realignment. You'll begin to release what no longer resonates with you, or come to recognize that a previous path, though it once seemed right, no longer brings you comfort. You'll recalibrate, redefine. If you've tried to change, but something still felt off, you'll continue to fine-tune. If you've been living under a long-standing direction that no longer feels aligned, you'll begin searching for a new world, one where you can feel truly at ease, and where your essence feels fully honored. These are the messages the cards wish to convey to you. As for guidance, the card of the World appears in reverse, a card that normally represents completion and fulfillment. But in its reverse state, it gently tells you that there's no need to rush toward closure just yet. While making a decision is important, you are absolutely allowed to give yourself a little more time. Let yourself experience more, meet new people, and embrace things you've never tried before. There's no need to rush or pressure yourself to immediately find the perfect answer to your life. Even if you deeply long for a clear conclusion right now, a destination to cling to, there's no need to live in such strict terms of black and white, right or wrong, all or nothing. You're being encouraged to dwell in the gray area, the space where things are still forming, still evolving, a space free from rigid definitions. That is exactly where you can hear your inner voice most clearly and gently adjust your path according to your intuition. So, give yourself the next month to truly slow down, to reorganize everything, and to clear out both your inner and outer worlds. This is a time for you to restructure yourself gradually, without pressure or urgency. When looking more closely at the transformation that will unfold a month from now, the cards paint a vivid picture of your future self as someone radiating personal magnetism, like a flower blooming at exactly the right moment. You step into the center of your own life, and those around you begin to take notice. They are drawn to your presence, your confidence, your natural glow. You become the main character of your own story. Additionally, there is a message that you'll begin to view things with greater optimism and positivity. In short, a month from now, you will genuinely feel that your future looks bright. And finally, a card carrying the energy of transformation has appeared. This indicates that you are in the midst of a profound rebirth. A new version of yourself is emerging. You are not only changing in terms of actions or choices, but also undergoing a deep internal shift, as if you are being born again, with renewed awareness, fresh energy, and a path that is clearer than ever before. Regarding attachment, emotional lingering, or dependency, have you been drawn to the color pink lately? Perhaps to pink flowers or a soft pink light. If you found yourself paying attention to that color, it's no coincidence. Pink here symbolizes love and gentleness, but it also reflects emotional bonds that you may be struggling to release. And then, a beautiful card unexpectedly flew out, milk and honey, a symbol full of sweetness and warmth. Yet immediately afterward, the death card appeared in reverse, carrying a message that you are standing before something that needs to end. Something within you is yearning for closure, but you are still hesitating, still not quite ready to let go. The reversed death card also suggests resistance to transformation. There is something within you that continues to hold on, unwilling to change, especially when it comes to emotional entanglements, relationships you've been deeply attached to, or familiar concepts that you haven't yet been able to walk away from. However, I can say with confidence that just 1 month from now, there is a strong possibility your entire environment will have undergone a profound transformation. You might find yourself living in an entirely different place, working in a completely new setting, or surrounded by scenery so distinct from your present life that you feel as if you're living a completely different reality, a version of you that no longer resembles the old one. This is rebirth, a dramatic, breakthrough shift in your life. But take heart, because the moment the card of endings appeared, the milk and honey card immediately flew out as if to offer reassurance from the universe. This card paints a vision of sweetness, a radiant rainbow appearing after the rain, an atmosphere filled with honeyed light and gentle comfort. It speaks to the truth that after all the upheaval, you will step into a state of serenity, ease, and genuine happiness. You will find yourself in a space where your heart will whisper, "I'm so grateful this change came." You will clearly feel, "This, finally, is where I truly belong." Through these cards, I can deeply sense that your living environment is going to shift dramatically. Not just the physical space, but your emotional landscape as well. You'll feel lighter, more at ease, as though everything is flowing smoothly and gently, like the taste of milk blended with honey, sweet, tender, and deeply soothing. Everything will begin to flow more harmoniously than ever before. Everything is unfolding in that direction. A deep, transformative current is drawing near. However, there's still something holding you back: resistance. You may be feeling conflicted. On one hand, you're excited about the changes ahead. On the other, you still feel afraid. And that's deeply human. The future is not the vast darkness we often imagine it to be. In truth, it's so radiant that we can't see it clearly. It shines so brightly that it appears blank, so white, so intense, that we mistake it for a void. Because we can't clearly perceive it, we label it as uncertain, blurry, even frightening. But in reality, it's a blank canvas, an untouched piece of fabric waiting for you to make the first brushstroke. You are now at a point in time where you can paint whatever you wish onto the canvas of your life. A new chapter, a new world, a new version of you. All of it is ready, waiting to be created. But because it is so new, so white, so brilliant, you haven't been able to see it clearly yet. And because you can't see it, fear creeps in. Even if you're currently in a situation that feels heavy, exhausting, or no longer aligned, The mere familiarity of it can make the thought of letting go feel unsettling. That's a completely natural response of the human mind. The ego within you, the identity you've built, is whispering, "Don't go. Don't change." Even if it's dark or constraining, at least it's a familiar space. The ego fears uncertainty. It fears getting hurt, so it clings to what it knows. But your soul, the deepest, truest part of you, does not feel the same. It is calling you forward. It is ready to embrace transformation. It is yearning to begin a new journey. Even your conscious mind, your rational self, is beginning to see that your current environment no longer feels right. You can feel it clearly. You want change. You no longer wish to stay still. You want to move forward. You want to live in alignment with your own rhythm. So if you're feeling a tug of war within yourself right now, caught between wanting to move forward and fearing the release of the past, know that this is completely normal. But at the same time, trust the call of your soul. It's telling you the time has come, and you are on the right path. You may be thinking, "I want to let this go. I want to feel light again. I want to free myself." That's the voice of your conscious mind. Yet, deeper down in the layers of your subconscious or ego, another voice whispers, "Don't. Just stay where you are. At least it's familiar. At least it's safe." The world you're stepping into is one of radiant light, positivity, and overflowing with opportunity and hope. But precisely because it is so bright, so beautiful, fear arises. Can I truly belong in that world? I carry so many insecurities, so much dense energy. Do I really deserve it? The ego starts murmuring, "That light isn't for you. Stay where it's familiar. Don't take risks." So even though a part of you wants to step out, another part keeps holding you back. And this inner push-pull makes it difficult to choose the light, even when you already know that's exactly what you need. This reveals that the transformation you're facing is not a minor one. It's a monumental shift. It's not just an external change, but a full inner metamorphosis. It's like moving from point A to point Z, a complete and unmistakable pivot. That's why it feels scary. Because you're about to leave behind a stagnant, outdated environment and enter a completely different realm, as if traveling from the north to the south, a full 180-degree turn. So, what is this world you're heading toward? The cards respond. It is a world where you rediscover your passion and the fire within that had once been buried. The card message in a bottle indicates that you will begin to receive meaningful messages, whether from the universe, your own intuition, or those around you. And passion speaks of a flame rekindled. The fire in you will rise once more. And then, the card birds, a symbol of communication and connection, appears, signaling that the heart of this transformation may lie in your relationships. It could mean entering a new community, forming fresh connections, or someone special arriving who helps you open your heart. And just like that, as a firm confirmation, the big wave card emerges. A powerful wave is coming. An event, a turning point with significant impact awaits you. The universe is speaking loud and clear. This is a moment of change. This is a pivotal shift. So if you're currently feeling dull, uninspired, or stuck in a stagnant state, then congratulations. Just 1 month from now, your inner fire will be reignited. You will feel a surge of energy, motivation, and vitality. And you will no longer be the same person you are today. It's likely that by now, you've begun to uncover what you truly want to do. In terms of love or relationships, you may also be forming a deeper connection with someone, whether it's someone new or the person already by your side. There could be a soulful resonance between the two of you, or an old bond being rekindled with fresh passion, genuine care, and more vibrant emotions than before. In addition, a key message is emphasized. You will receive joyful news, a message that brings happiness. It might be an unexpected opportunity, a long-awaited message, or a sign that something you once deeply wished for is finally returning to you. The reversed Six of Wands appears as a gentle reminder of something in your past that you once longed to achieve, but were unable to. Perhaps it was a big dream or a significant milestone you held high hopes for, only to be forced to stop halfway. It might have been an exam you didn't pass, a competition you didn't win, a career opportunity that slipped away, or even a marriage you had hoped for but which fell through at the last moment. It may be something you've carried in your heart with deep regret, a moment you quietly consider one of the greatest failures of your life. And now, the card says, the very thing you once lost, the thing you wanted so badly but couldn't hold on to, is now making its way back to you. This time, you may have the chance to truly achieve it. This time, what once seemed to have slipped away forever may return in a new form, one you are finally ready to embrace. For instance, if you once missed out on a dream home when trying to relocate, then in the coming month, something even better may appear. Or if you previously failed an important exam, this time you will succeed. It is a sign that the things you once mourned, the dreams you believed were no longer possible, are now becoming tangible within the new reality you're stepping into. And they will arrive with a clear message of joy, a signal that lets you know, this time, you are truly ready to receive and hold on to what you once wished for. This time, what comes to you will be even more wonderful, something entirely aligned with who you are, far beyond what you ever imagined. If there's something from the past that still lingers as a regret, try to remember it, because it's now on its way back to you, returning in its most complete, rightful, and perfect form. Looking at the Passion card, I also feel a strong wave of energy surrounding love and relationships. If you are currently in a connection where the two of you have fallen out of touch, there's a strong possibility that an opportunity will soon arise to re-establish communication, to open up a new channel for connection. If recent times have brought arguments or emotional distance between you, or if you've been giving each other space to cool down, this could be the moment when the bond begins to heal, gently and with more ease than before. For those who are married and have been together for a long time, it may be that the spark you once shared has gradually dimmed. But soon, a fresh wave of energy will arrive, reigniting passion and emotional resonance, allowing you to see your partner with renewed eyes and a warmer heart. However, I also sense that for some of you, if you've been in a long-term relationship that no longer feels right, there's a high chance that you have already begun, or will soon begin, to release that relationship. And right after that, someone new may enter your life, bringing with them a completely new connection, one that begins an entirely different chapter of love, deeper, more aligned, more soulful. Depending on your specific situation, whether you're single, currently in a relationship, navigating separation, or in the process of emotional rebuilding, the meaning of this message may vary. But overall, the core essence the cards are delivering is this: a wave of passionate, heartfelt, and elevated emotional energy is on its way to you. Take a moment to reflect on where you are in your journey of love, and allow yourself to believe that, wherever you stand, emotional rebirth is waiting just ahead. So, even in your work or the path you're currently pursuing, a new wave of passion is about to be awakened. You may discover a work environment that feels truly aligned with who you are, a place where you can express your talents freely and fully, where your authentic self is seen and valued. It's also possible that you'll decide to leave your current job, making space for a new opportunity, a role, a project, or a direction that genuinely excites you and fills you with joy at the very thought of it. What I feel very clearly is this: up until now, you may have been living so much for others, for their happiness, their smiles, their needs. Of course, that is a beautiful thing, and I believe you will continue to be someone who deeply cares for others. But in the days ahead, you'll step into a new chapter, one where you place yourself first. A space where you care for yourself, listen to yourself, and begin to live for what truly makes you happy. Because when you feel whole and fulfilled from within, that's when you can clearly see what you truly want to do. You'll reconnect with your inner drive to take action, to explore, to shape a life that genuinely delights you. That inner sense of completeness will become the wellspring from which your passion and inspiration are reignited. And the same goes for love. If you've felt indifferent to romance, if you once believed your heart no longer had the capacity to feel deeply, then in the time ahead, someone may come into your life who awakens your emotions once more. Someone who brings back that flutter in your chest, that warmth, and reminds you, your heart still knows how to feel, how to love, and to love deeply. The things that once made your heart flutter, the experiences that filled you with anticipation and joy, those emotions are now making their way back to you. And because this is such a major shift, it's possible that at present, you may feel a little low, uninspired, or directionless. But that's only a temporary dip, a necessary pause before a powerful leap forward. A bright new beginning is waiting just ahead. In your relationships, if you've been feeling like this connection no longer feels right, or this work environment no longer aligns with who I am, you're likely not the only one sensing it. It seems that many people around you are also awakening to the realization that change is necessary. But the question is, how do you truly let go of what you're ready to walk away from? How do you find the strength to step boldly toward the path your soul has already chosen? Your soul has, in fact, already made the decision. You will change, of that, there is no doubt. The real challenge lies in allowing you, your rational mind, your emotional self, the part of you living daily life, to feel ready to release. The question becomes, how can you help yourself truly understand and embrace the departure? One of the most profound and gentle ways is this: release with gratitude. Thank the things that came your way, the people who crossed your path, and the memories that walked beside you through this journey so far. And if you can, send them your blessings, wish them happiness, even if their journey no longer runs parallel to yours. When you let go with genuine gratitude and love, what you are meant to part with will gently leave on its own. There will be no struggle, no pain. Everything will fall away as softly as a leaf drifting to the earth. Another message is being sent to you. Listen to your intuition. Trust those sudden sensations, fleeting hunches, or seemingly small desires that make your heart tremble. If today you suddenly feel like going somewhere, doing something, or seeing someone do it, follow the feeling, follow your intuition, rather than sitting still and thinking of letting go as some heavy obligation. Because it is through those natural, instinctive actions that new opportunities will arise, moments where you'll suddenly realize, I've already let go without even noticing. When you allow joy, emotional resonance, and passion to lead the way, you begin walking the very path your soul has been calling you toward, the path of transformation, the path that ignites your inner light. And when you live in that kind of alignment, you begin to emit a powerful frequency, a radiant vibration filled with joy and vitality. That energy, in turn, will guide you to all the things you truly deserve. When you take action from a place of genuine feeling, when you listen and respond to your inner rhythm, the things you're trying to release, often people or environments, will naturally begin to shift along with you. If the energetic frequency between you and them is still in harmony, they may transform with you, stepping together into a new chapter. But if, at a fundamental level, you and they, or you and that environment, are no longer aligned, then as you change, the separation will happen naturally and gently in the most graceful way. And that, in truth, is a blessing for both sides. For example, if it's a work environment, then your departure may actually bring greater ease to those who remain, allowing them to find new rhythms that suit them better. No one is ever redundant. There is only a shift in rhythm. And the universe always knows how to rearrange everything in perfect harmony. So the most important message at this time is this: act on what you feel. Let your intuition lead the way. When the card speaks of inspiration, it doesn't mean you need to think harder or analyze every detail. On the contrary, it's telling you that you don't need to think at all. Stop calculating and hand over the reins to the universe. When you do, the universe will begin to send you brilliant ideas, subtle alignments, and unexpected opportunities, not just for you, but also for the people connected to you, even the situations or relationships you're trying to release. When you stop trying to control everything with your mind and instead live through feeling and vibration, you will be gently and miraculously guided to the right path. And in the final outcome, the Page of Cups appears, a card representing introspection, a return to the inner world, and a deep appreciation for your own emotional space. This is the time when you begin to immerse yourself in the things that truly move you, perhaps small, simple things, but ones that make you feel fully alive and true to yourself. This card reveals that the result of your entire journey will be a profound sense of dwelling peacefully within yourself. You will no longer need to search outward. You will return home to your own inner world, and from that sacred space, you will begin to create a new reality, one that is gentler, more aligned, and filled with love. Make a wish, one that comes truly from the depths of your heart. The four-leaf clover card, Lucky Opportunity, appears as a message that the universe is delivering a magical moment to you. In the image of the card, the four-leaf clovers are placed inside something resembling a lantern, with a castle in the background, symbolizing that all these miracles are being cradled and protected within something sacred. Though the image shows you shining, radiant, captivating, admired by many, there is also a deep sense of stillness and introspection quietly resting beneath it all. The card reflects an outward-facing aspect, socially vibrant, a version of you 1 month from now that is confident, alive, full of energy, reaching for the dreams you once held, and shining brightly in your own world. Yet at the same time, there's a feeling that all of this arises from an inner world that is profoundly peaceful and complete. In other words, what you express on the outside, success, happiness, magnetism, the feeling of being loved and celebrated, is the natural result of an inner life that has been gently and lovingly nurtured. When you care for, Tend to and cherish your internal world. The external world will naturally reflect that back to you. So the essential message here is, your inner and outer worlds are coming into harmony. The fulfillment you'll experience outwardly isn't due to blind luck, but rather the result of having cultivated fullness within your soul. When you love yourself, when you honor your own spiritual space, the material world responds with miracles, wishes fulfilled, motivation reignited, long-lost dreams brought back to life, and a joyful love returning to your side. Your world, 1 month from now, will be one glowing with light, a world where others can see you shine. But behind that glow, in the place no one else can see, is the real you reborn. A you who is living fully, nourished from within, walking with steady steps, no longer reliant on anyone or anything outside of yourself. Your inner and outer realities are in harmony, creating a version of you who is truly, deeply happy. In truth, we are living in the age of air, a new era where energy is shifting inward rather than outward. In this age, if we continue chasing external things like power, fame, money, or the approval of others, we will eventually feel hollow. This is one of the greatest lessons of this era. If all your focus is directed outward, your inner world will become empty. And in fact, the world has been showing us this very truth. Nothing external can truly fill the heart if the inside is running dry. No matter how much you achieve, if those accomplishments do not stem from genuine joy within, they can never bring true fulfillment. Instead, let joy and abundance begin from the inside. Even if what you want to do doesn't bring money, even if it seems to serve no one, even if someone tells you it's meaningless, if it makes you feel, I am happy, I am whole, then it is absolutely worthy. And honestly, there is no such thing as something truly meaningless. Because when you live authentically with what stirs your heart, you become a source of light for others, whether you realize it or not. You are someone who naturally lives for others. Perhaps you've believed that your existence only has value when you are helping someone else. But now, you're stepping into a new phase, where you begin to allow yourself to live for you, for the richness of your own inner world. Even if it's simply to satisfy your own desires, to indulge your own heart, that alone is completely valid. Fulfilling even the smallest wishes each day, like, I wish I could do this today, it would make me so happy, and then creating the space for it to happen, that is how you bring your wishes to life. You are the one who works magic in your own life. And when you live this way, when your inner self is nourished and full, the outer world will begin to reflect that. You will start attracting goodness, kind-hearted people, and opportunities that are truly aligned with you. So the final outcome is not a fixed destination, but a continuous flow between two realms, your inner world and the world around you. Both move in harmony, influencing one another, co-creating a state of fulfillment. With that in mind, envision the you of 1 month from now, a version of you who is living in alignment with what you truly desire, someone blooming from the very center of your own heart. Try to imagine yourself 1 month from today. What kind of environment are you in? Who is around you? What does your face look like? How is your hair styled? What kind of clothes are you wearing? Let your imagination run free. If you're still unsure about who you truly want to walk alongside in life, or if you haven't met that person yet, then imagine them. Visualize someone whose presence makes you feel truly happy when working together. Someone whose love and companionship allow you to feel entirely yourself. See them in your mind. Shape their presence clearly in your imagination. Because in reality, we are imagining and creating our reality every single minute of every single day. We are painting our own canvas, bringing to life the people who will enter our journey, the spaces we will inhabit, the work we will do, and the experiences we will live. So, if you wish to meet someone, try writing down their qualities, their personality, their energy, the way they make you feel supported. If you are looking for a collaborator or someone to journey with professionally, write down, I wish to work with someone who is. Then let those words become a bridge between you and the frequency you long to step into. And if writing things out in detail doesn't excite you, that's perfectly okay. All you need to do is say to the universe, please send me the most wonderful companion, the one who aligns with me best at the perfect time. And that's enough. Everyone has their own way of creating magic. There is no fixed formula. Just choose the method that feels most natural to you. Whatever path you take, though, do this. Allow yourself to be moved by the beauty of your own positive imagination. Truly feel, in your heart, I have already become that amazing version of myself. I am living the life I once dreamed of. And say to yourself, Congratulations, I've arrived at exactly the place I long to be. This act of emotionally pre-celebrating your success opens the gateway to the future your heart truly yearns for. One thing is certain, your inner fulfillment will soon be clearly reflected in your outer world. If you're currently feeling a lack of motivation or have a quiet sense that something no longer fits, it means you're deeply attuned to yourself. You are genuinely listening to the voice within. And if you feel, I don't need to force this anymore, this feels right, this feels peaceful, then you are already on the right path. The card also reveals that you are about to receive a lucky opportunity, a turning point for the better. If you've recently felt like things haven't been going smoothly, or as if you've been stuck in a cycle of misfortune, the month ahead will bring a shift. You may be in a low phase of your energetic cycle right now, but you are about to rise into an abundant one, where the seeds you've planted will begin to bloom and bear fruit. A season of prosperity, wholeness, and fulfillment, in both financial and emotional realms, is opening up before you. The card that appears is bathed in sunlight, radiating vitality, motivation, trust, and light. Sunflowers bloom within the image, symbols of hope and a powerful life force coming into full blossom. What I sense very clearly is this: 1 month from now, you'll be more radiant than ever. Your face will glow with vitality. You'll feel truly alive, luminous, inside and out. If you've been dealing with health issues, this marks a phase of recovery. And if you're living with a chronic condition or undergoing long-term treatment, the near future may bring a glimmer of hope, a therapy, a piece of news, or a sign that uplifts and encourages you. In other words, it won't just be your spirit that experiences rebirth. Your body will also be healing. A fresh, whole, and luminous version of you is becoming real. And it's no longer a distant dream. It's the path you are truly walking. You will become stronger, and most importantly, filled with light and laughter. The image of you 1 month from now is of someone smiling brightly, and not just you, those around you are smiling with you. If you've worried that choosing happiness for yourself might hurt someone else, be at ease. When you're honest with yourself, when you choose what makes you truly happy, that very choice brings happiness to others as well. Because when you smile, your world lights up, and everyone within it feels the warmth. Prioritize bringing a smile to your own face. Don't wait for the perfect condition. Don't make joy conditional on reaching a certain milestone. The image of milk and honey, of sweetness and ease, is a clear affirmation that you are stepping into a gentle, nourishing, delightful chapter. And to enjoy it, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to arrive at something called completion. The message here is this: you don't need to reach perfection. You don't need to have everything finished. Life is, by nature, an endless journey, a continuous unfolding of new chapters. There is no true end. Even marriage, something we often view as a destination, is in fact just a beginning. Whatever it is you're pursuing, remember, nothing ever truly ends. Every so-called ending is merely the start of something else. So instead of trying to neatly arrange everything, instead of pressuring yourself to complete everything flawlessly, be gentler with yourself. Prioritize what makes your heart stir in this very moment. If something is calling to you, even if it seems small, move toward it. The rest, the universe will handle. Let your intuition lead. Let joy be your compass. And trust that if you simply choose the right thing in the present moment, all the other pieces will naturally fall into place. All that's required is for you to live joyfully and act from your heart. Everything else will follow. You don't need to control every detail. You don't need to force everything to take clear shape right now. Let go of the need to perfect everything. Allow yourself to be in a state of becoming. You don't need to reach 100%. When you allow that softness and flexibility, life begins to flow much more easily and naturally. And so, 1 month from now, you will become a radiant version of yourself, shining like sunlight, filled with energy and a deep zest for life. You'll find yourself in a place where you feel at ease, in an environment that allows you to be your truest self, where your real gifts can shine. You'll be doing something that comes from passion, from a deep longing within, and that is the clearest proof that your wishes are becoming reality. You'll be living in a world where your heart is nourished, where every emotion is heard, honored, and held with care. Not only that, but you are also being shown that a new opportunity is about to appear. Something sweet, full of promise, will arrive like a gift from the universe. Along with it comes a piece of good news, a message that warms your heart and lifts your spirit. So imagine it, feel it, and allow yourself to be excited in anticipation, so the universe knows that you're ready to receive. As mentioned at the very beginning, your future is a blank canvas, sparkling and wide open. Just because you can't yet see the painting doesn't mean it isn't there. It simply means you haven't chosen what to paint on it yet. You have the power to create the world you want to live in. And from this very moment, you are already taking steps toward it. So, keep creating. Keep painting the future you long for. This concludes the reading for those who chose Group 1. If you enjoyed this message, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and support it by clicking the like button. Your encouragement is a tremendous source of motivation for me to continue creating and sharing new content. If there was something in this reading that touched your heart, I'd love for you to leave a comment or even a small symbol, just something to let me know the message reached you. I always look forward to hearing your thoughts, so please don't hesitate to share. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end of the video. I look forward to seeing you again in the next reading. Hello, Pile 2. Thank you for waiting. Now, I'll begin the reading for those of you who chose Pile number 2. I hope this reading brings you healing, fresh insights, and moments filled with love. With the theme, what will change in the next month? From the moment the cards were revealed, the very first emotion that rose within me was beautiful. Truly, this is something very good. I actually feel a bit emotional as I look at these cards. There's something truly special here. The first thing that must be said is this: your wish is coming true. It seems that you are either on the verge of reaching or already living within the very things you once deeply desired. In fact, you may be in a state where you don't even feel the need to watch a tarot reading anymore. You might be thinking, I'm doing fine. And that, in itself, is a wonderful sign. Perhaps things have been flowing smoothly for you. Maybe you've met someone kind. Or maybe, overall, your future is beginning to unfold in a way that feels brighter and clearer than ever before. Whether you're fully aware of it yet or not, the energy here is overwhelmingly positive. There's a strong sense that most of the people who chose this pile are genuinely in a good place, even if they haven't completely realized it themselves. There is only one card in the position of the past, Page of Wands, that carries a hint of negative energy. It reflects a period in which you may have felt uninspired, misunderstood, or experienced a disconnect in communication, perhaps with someone you wanted to reach out to, but couldn't truly connect with. It could also point to a time when a relationship or project felt stagnant, repetitive, dull, or even sparked a desire within you to rebel against it. However, in the present moment, the Two of Cups appears in the position representing your external environment, and the Three of Cups appears in the position of your inner emotional world, both of which indicate that you are in a truly beautiful phase. The current flow of energy around you is smooth and harmonious. Even if you don't yet fully feel how good things are, the cards are affirming that you are on the right path. You are moving closer to the things that bring peace to your heart. And step by step, everything is becoming clearer. Although there may still be remnants of the past subtly influencing your present, the cards show that within just 1 month, you will completely break free from all of it. Feelings of stagnation, things not going your way, emotional fatigue, or a lack of enthusiasm, these experiences will gradually dissolve. It may not be that you are facing misfortune at all, but rather that you are resisting change. Because what lies ahead is so brilliant, so radiant, it can be blinding. People don't fear the future because it's dark and uncertain, but because it's dazzling, so bright that they can't yet see it clearly. And that light, that brilliance, is the very sign of something incredibly positive approaching. So if what you're feeling right now includes any sense of confusion, unease, or a weariness you can't quite explain, even if your health feels slightly off, it may well be a sign that a deep inner transformation is already underway. These signals are reflections from your subconscious, indicating that you're about to step into a brand new phase, one that is profoundly different and far more beautiful than you've ever known. This is a moment when you are drawing close to a profound transformation, so significant that even you might feel a sense of fear. But that fear doesn't come from something negative approaching. Rather, it stems from something good coming so near. And this change is certain to be a positive, radiant turning point. Even if you're feeling hesitant, unclear, or slightly overwhelmed, trust that you are still moving forward. All you need to do is keep walking, gently releasing nameless worries and believing that a future filled with light has already begun. Not someday, but from this very moment. It seems you are ready to face whatever is unfolding. You may already be in a mental space where you feel motivated to take on challenges head-on. You possess a deep inner strength, the kind of strength that reveals itself more powerfully the more pressure you face. You are the type of person who shines brightest in adversity. And this very quality is what makes you extraordinary. The card Three of Cups, a symbol of joy, celebration, and connection, appears in the position of your emotional state. This shows that even amidst challenges, you have the capacity to see things through a compassionate and positive lens. You may have begun to approach all experiences, even the difficult ones, with a deeper sense of integration. Everything is part of life. I can find joy even in imperfection. This is a true sign of emotional maturity. Recently, you may have connected with new friends, colleagues, or someone who simply feels like a natural fit, people who energize you with their presence. Perhaps you've discovered a community or group that makes you feel like you belong. And through them, you've begun to sense, I am supported. I am not alone. These connections may have reignited a flame within your soul, lifted your spirit, and opened a new door filled with hope before you. If you're currently in a romantic relationship, or even a deep, loyal friendship, it's very likely that this person holds a great deal of affection for you in their heart. The card here speaks of resonance, of soul-level connection. Whether in love or friendship, the bond between you is real, deep, meaningful, and worth cherishing. This person doesn't just want to be by your side, they want to walk beside you, to give, to build something significant together with you. In summary, you are currently flowing in a deeply positive current, one in which all emotions, whether light or heavy, are being integrated into a vibrant and meaningful tapestry of life. And you are not alone on this journey. You are loved, you are connected, and you are ready for a new chapter, one more radiant than ever before. That's why there may be someone who truly wants to build a meaningful relationship with you, someone who desires to be by your side, who is thinking seriously about love or even marriage. Similarly, in the realm of work, there may be someone who genuinely wishes to collaborate with you, to walk alongside you, and co-create something significant. This person is not merely choosing a task, they're choosing you to do it with. At the same time, the presence of both black and white imagery in the reading, a symbol of yin and yang, suggests that this could be a relationship of balance and mutual completion. Both of you may be beautifully imperfect pieces, but together, you become whole. This energy could also apply to a living or working environment, one that feels perfectly suited to you, one that either has already been offered or is about to be. Simply put, you are on the right path. Truly, the right path. And when looking ahead to your future 1 month from now, the Six of Cups appears, a card that speaks of nostalgia, the return of beautiful memories from the past, or the reawakening of innocent, childlike emotions. This card reminds you that you are beginning to reclaim your sense of play, your inner lightness, the most precious essence in life. That carefree spirit is the key that unlocks joy, peace, and the feeling of being truly yourself. A month from now, you will allow yourself to do the things you genuinely want to do, not for money, not out of duty, but simply because you love them. And the result of living in alignment with your true feelings is beautifully embodied by the Empress, a card symbolizing love, creativity, abundance, and fulfillment. This is a card of blossoming, both in spirit and in reality. It speaks of growth, prosperity, and a deep, gentle joy. For some, it can even suggest pregnancy or birth, both in the literal and symbolic sense, meaning you are nurturing and bringing forth something beautiful for yourself and for this life. In short, within the next month, you will step into a phase that is truly gentle, nurturing, and filled with love, both from within yourself and from the world around you. Looking at the card representing this pile, the first impression that emerges is that, among the three options, this card carries the quietest, most humble, and serene energy. Perhaps that's why those who chose this group weren't guided by logic or analysis, but simply felt drawn to it, as if nothing else even existed for them to choose. Maybe you usually choose different kinds of readings, but today, something within pulled you here. The image on the card resembles a moment of slumber, or perhaps a stillness under the night sky, while a white butterfly flutters nearby. In spiritual symbolism, the white butterfly is a messenger of transformation, a gentle whisper from the soul that says, "It's time to change." The energy of this reading sends out a clear message. You are on a journey to rediscover your truest self. Not because you want to be more special than others, not to prove anything to the world, but simply to find what feels right, what resonates with who you are inside. You are no longer concerned with what others think, no longer following external expectations. You are yearning to live authentically. And because of that, a month from now, you will touch the most original version of yourself, as if returning to the pure essence of your soul, unburdened by social conditioning or invisible fears. You will be reborn, pure, steady, and in complete alignment with who you truly are. As for guidance, the Knight of Swords appears in reverse, a message that urges you to be mindful of impulsive actions. You may be feeling the urge to make fast changes, to push forward with quick decisions, or to charge ahead without much reflection. But in this context, the advice is slow down. Don't let impatience cost you your clarity. This journey does not require speed, it requires depth. Because you are returning to yourself, and to reach the deepest, truest part within, you cannot rush. It requires stillness. It requires pauses. It requires patience with your own unfolding. And if you allow yourself to slow down, to listen to the natural rhythm of your soul, you'll realize the coming month isn't a time to change who you are. It's a time to remember who you are. And there is nothing more precious than that. There is no longer a need to argue, to resist, or to turn things upside down. It seems that you no longer need to concern yourself with what is right or wrong, or torment yourself with moral dilemmas or societal standards. Not because you are ignoring what is good or trampling over principles, far from it, but because you are no longer controlled or confined by them. You have matured. You have become so refined that external frameworks are no longer necessary for you to act with kindness, with wisdom, and from a place of inner clarity. That's why the message emphasized here is this: release all the limits you've once placed upon yourself. Allow yourself to return to freedom, to be fully, wholly yourself. This is the journey you are on now, a journey of soulful rebirth. Now, let's look deeper into what awaits you in the next month. As the cards unfold, they illuminate a path so vibrant and unexpected that even the reader cannot help but smile in wonder. The first message that comes through is this: a time of restoration, a time of reward. That's right, you are about to enter a phase where the universe offers you well-deserved rest. Because for a long time, you've been living for others. Not necessarily in painful sacrifice, but because it genuinely made you happy to give, to support, to live in alignment with your heart. Still, beneath it all, it has been a journey that consumed much of your inner energy. And then, the Lover's card appears, but in reverse position. This is a powerful signal. You are currently, or have just been, in the process of releasing a karmic soul connection. It may have been a relationship that bound you deeply. A connection where you loved deeply, understood deeply, gave deeply, but one that was also difficult to let go of, difficult to free yourself from. Now, you are at the turning point of transformation. You are no longer bound by that soul contract. You may not have realized it, but you've just come through a major phase of spiritual purification. The wounds of the past, the weight of old relationships, the invisible responsibilities you've carried, all of it is now gradually being released. The universe is saying, now is the time for you to receive your reward. Rest, relief, healing. Your next chapter doesn't begin with a giant leap. It begins with a deep breath, with allowing yourself to pause, to replenish your life force, to smile gently at yourself. And from that space, the miracles will begin to unfold. Up to this point, everything you've experienced, not only in love but in all forms of human connection, in every meeting, every interaction, has had a deeper purpose. Every time we are drawn to someone, every time we become entangled, it is to learn something. More precisely, it is to dissolve karmic bonds from past lifetimes. The more karmic energy a connection holds, the more magnetic and intense it feels. Love, in many cases, is the very vessel the soul chooses to liberate itself from unseen entanglements. And here, love and partnership are two distinct concepts. The Lover's card appears in reverse position, revealing that several possibilities are opening up in the month ahead. One possibility is that you'll meet someone entirely new, someone very different from anyone you've ever been drawn to before. Or perhaps you have already begun to connect with this person, a bond that is no longer driven by karma, but formed from natural resonance, peace, and freedom. Another possibility, swift and unexpected, is that you and someone who has long been on your path together will finally clear the remaining karmic patterns between you, and from there, rise into a new phase of love, one where the connection is rooted in pure emotion, free from old burdens. The energy of the cards evokes a heartbeat of excitement. Something very clear is happening. Everything that no longer fits you is now falling away. The things you once endured, forced yourself to adapt to, or sacrificed yourself for in order to maintain, they are dissolving. And what remains are only the things that are truly yours, the ones that align, the ones that belong. A new world, a world of harmony and wholeness, is being shaped, just for you. For instance, you may have once thought, from now on, I'll continue to walk alongside this person in my work, or I'll spend the rest of my life with this person, in the form of a long-term partnership, a deep and lasting bond. But recently, you may have begun to feel a vague sense that perhaps that's not the case. Or maybe you've already come to see it clearly. There's a strong possibility that you are about to enter a phase where someone you once trusted deeply, or a circumstance you believed would last, begins to shift. At first, this might bring sadness, even a sense of disappointment, because what you once believed in so wholeheartedly no longer aligns with what's unfolding. However, rest assured, the very moment you release your grip, the moment you feel that this is no longer yours to hold, something deeply aligned with you will immediately appear. You may feel sorrow for a few brief days, but soon after, something will rise to lift you. A new attraction will spark, a new door will open. And what's coming to you is not a fleeting chance. It is true love or a lasting bond, something that will stay, something that will root itself firmly in your life, whether it's a person, a career, or a community. Everything will begin to stabilize and solidify. If there had been past misunderstandings or misalignments between you and someone else, this may now be the time when you both decide, we are no longer going to part ways. This could manifest as a marriage, an official relationship, or a significant long-term commitment. The transformation taking place is so profound that even you, someone usually so composed, may find yourself stunned. But everything is aligning perfectly. Let the cards say exactly what they need to say. When looking at the healing and rest time cards, the message becomes clear. You've poured your heart, your very life force, into someone else, or into something that was never truly meant for you. You've given away a precious part of your soul in devotion, in love, in preservation. And yet, the outcome you received may not have matched the depth of what you offered. Now, it is time to rest, to recover, and to return to yourself. What truly belongs to you, love, relationships, purpose, and aligned work, is on its way. And this time, you will no longer have to sacrifice yourself to have it. Perhaps what you gave in the past was not reciprocated in the way you hoped. But that too was part of your soul's learning. And even if the result fell short of your expectations, your soul was being refined in that very experience. So now you are allowed to close that chapter. That phase is complete. You are stepping into a new chapter, a higher level of your soul's journey. This signifies that you have just completed a karmic release, often a topic that brings heaviness or negativity to mind. But in truth, in this universe, nothing is inherently good or bad. Light is no more precious than darkness, and no role is more noble than another. If you've ever felt like you were paying for something you did in a past life, the truth is, you've simply chosen a different perspective, a different role to experience. Perhaps in another lifetime, you were the one who caused pain. And so, in this life, you chose to be the one who endures, not to punish yourself, but to understand more deeply, to feel the full spectrum of the soul's journey from the opposite side. Until the end of 2024, specifically around November, we were still heavily influenced by the mindset of the Earth era, where karma was seen as punishment, as a chain of consequences that must be endured in order to redeem past wrongs. That way of thinking kept many people trapped in cycles of pain they couldn't seem to escape. But with the shift into the age of air, the frequency of vibration has completely transformed. Humanity is beginning to ascend into a higher dimension. And in this higher realm, karma is no longer punishment. It is simply an opportunity to experience a different aspect of life, a mirror of something you once were. We were not born to suffer or to atone. We came to this earth to experience, to feel the full range of emotions, situations, and shades of the human journey. Therefore, what you once called karma can now be seen as a path of exploration, a sacred expansion of inner consciousness. You no longer need to carry the burden of paying off old debts or holding onto the past. Now is the time to live freely, in alignment with your authentic soul. You have fully fulfilled your role in the phase you've just completed. The experiences you've gone through, the karmic bonds, the emotional challenges, the sacrifices in relationships, were all invaluable lessons your soul needed to learn. Now the universe is thanking you. You've done well. It's time to rest. It's time to heal. You've walked a long path, traversed deep karmic terrain, and have even cleared away much of that invisible weight. So now is the moment to turn inward and offer healing to yourself. And this doesn't mean you have to strive to do anything more. Let your heart feel joy again. Let yourself receive pleasure, not the kind measured by logic or achievement, but the kind that rises quietly from within. The things that make your heart stir. Those are the keys to your healing. Now is the time for healing, for peace, sweetness, and fullness. Because you have tirelessly given your all throughout the journey so far, you are now entirely deserving of stepping into a new chapter, one where all that is good awaits you as a well-earned reward. This is why the Empress has appeared, a symbol of love, prosperity, and a life of abundance, both physically and spiritually. Perhaps in your journey of growing up, you once forced yourself to be perfect, to do the right thing, to live for others. You may have worn countless layers, responsibility, discipline, expectations. But now, 1 month from today, you will begin shedding all that no longer belongs to you. You are entering a phase where you get to live as your most authentic self, unbound, unjudged, no longer needing to do right by old standards. You will be released from even the beliefs you once held as truth, from the limits you thought were unbreakable. And you will begin moving in the direction your heart truly longs for. More specifically, as mentioned earlier, in love and relationships, there may be a shift in soul connections, or someone entirely new may enter your life. A new bond, one more aligned with who you've become, will appear as a natural part of the beautiful transformation you are now ready to receive. There will be people who no longer align with you quietly exiting your life. At the same time, you may choose to pause your current work, take time off, or relocate to a new place, a new living environment. And this is also a time of blessings. Even without trying too hard, the flow of energy will naturally bring opportunities for abundance. Perhaps a new source of income appears effortlessly, or someone steps forward to offer support without conditions. It is possible that someone, like a destined partner or kindred companion, will come into your life, bringing with them support, understanding, and most importantly, the ability to deeply feel the pain you've endured. This is why the energy of reciprocal connection is especially strong in this reading. The Lover's card also appeared earlier, suggesting that true love or a profound soulmate connection is drawing very near to you. You may find yourself feeling as if time has paused, not because you're standing still, but because you're truly living in each moment, fully immersed in the present. It's as if you're not merely existing, but truly alive, savoring every breath, every heartbeat, every second with deep gratitude. A serene and contented feeling arises within you, whispering, "Ah, how beautiful it is to be alive, to be here, to feel happiness like this." And this isn't just an inner sensation. The appearance of the Two of Cups confirms that in love and human connection, you are entering a remarkable phase. This is one of the most powerful cards representing love, mutual empathy, and deep soul-to-soul connection. It symbolizes a balanced, reciprocal, passionate, and graceful bond. With so many cards of true love, joy, and authentic connection appearing in unison, there is no doubt you are about to enter a radiant chapter of life, where both your heart and soul are nourished by genuine love. Because of this, a major shift in your relationships is likely, perhaps a fated encounter or a profound deepening of an existing connection. Whatever it may be, what's being emphasized is this: you will no longer feel anxious or uncertain about your love life. Things will begin to flow naturally, effortlessly, and you will finally exhale in peace, having found a place of emotional safety and security. In the realm of work or your current pursuits, it seems someone will arrive to support and uplift you, not only materially but emotionally as well. This person will help ease your burden, reduce your stress, and create space for you to return to that carefree, childlike state, reconnecting with the pure joy of doing what you love. And from that place of inspiration and authenticity, you will begin creating magic once again. Next comes the energy of love and partnership. Drawing additional cards specifically for this theme only makes the message clearer. The card attraction appears, showing that you are radiating a powerful magnetic energy. What's extraordinary is that you don't have to do anything. Just be yourself, delight in life, and all the right things will naturally be drawn to you. No more striving to hold on to someone, no more trying to impress, because you have become a version of yourself that is already whole. And in that wholeness, the right people, the right love, and the right opportunities will effortlessly find their way to you. When drawing from the Lenormand deck, 2 cards appeared together. The Gentleman, the archetype of a genuine, devoted man, and Bouquet, the symbol of gifts, joy, and delightful surprises. The message is clear and confirmed. Someone sincere, someone who loves you from the heart and wishes to bring you everything you truly deserve, is entering your life. Whether in love or in work, this person will make you feel cherished, cared for, and completely seen, and without a doubt, this marks the beginning of a sweet and promising new journey. This is what awaits you 1 month from now. For example, if you're already in love with someone, that very person might soon express their deepest feelings to you, perhaps even with a heartfelt proposal. That is the distinct energy coming through here. And so, the question arises, what will spark such a powerful attraction? Once again, the answer becomes clear. It's because you're no longer trying so hard. The next card that appears is the Three of Cups, a symbol of joy, reunion, celebration, and heartfelt friendship. And how beautiful it is that this card emerges in the position of the heart, your most inner emotional space. This is the universe's affirmation that your inner joy, your positive emotional state, is what activates all the goodness now flowing toward you. Many possibilities unfold from here. It may be that a close friend, someone you often dine, drink, or talk with, becomes the very link that leads you to your destiny. Or perhaps you'll meet this person while attending a gathering, a party, an event, or a casual meal with friends. Even something as simple as sitting at adjacent tables could spark this beginning. In addition, this card suggests that you may encounter this person during a festive celebration, such as a wedding, birthday party, promotion ceremony, or any joyful occasion filled with congratulatory energy. The frequency generated by shared laughter, raised glasses, and hearts full of celebration creates a powerful magnetic field, drawing toward you the person who truly resonates with your soul. Or perhaps it will be you, stepping into a positive emotional state, allowing your heart to transform past heaviness into renewed vitality, who creates such a radiant, energetic wave that the universe cannot ignore. And from that energy, a special person, a profound love, or a meaningful opportunity will be drawn to you, like a well-deserved gift for a heart that has remained open and grateful. Yes, exactly that. As if every piece of your life, even the ones that once seemed trivial, when embraced with a positive, open mindset, becomes the very path leading you to the bright future that's now unfolding. This is transformation at the level of perception, a shift in mindset that unlocks new potential. So, why not step outside for a while? Meet people. Spend joyful moments with your friends, your loved ones, because that might just be the spark that sets everything into motion. When your emotions are nurtured in joy, celebration, and genuine contentment, that's when your energy aligns most powerfully with what's meant for you. And that is the image of you 1 month from now, someone truly happy, fulfilled by the simplest things. Do what brings you joy. Go see the ones you love, whether it's a romantic partner, a dear friend, or a cherished family member. That may be all you need right now. The Rest Time card is reminding you that this is not the time to bury yourself in work. It is time to breathe, to slow down, to listen inward. Alongside healing, the message is clear. You are being gently encouraged to do the things that genuinely restore your energy from the inside out. Whether it's gentle relaxation, like lying down with music, meditating, or getting a massage, or more vibrant activities, like traveling, exploring new places, or trying things you've never tried before, any of it can be healing, as long as it stirs something in your heart. Ask yourself, what makes me feel light inside? What makes me fall in love with life again, feel truly alive? And you know what? All the barriers you usually think of, money, age, status, responsibility, none of them need to define you right now. You might think, but wouldn't that be irresponsible? But the truth is, it's not. These frameworks of responsibility or proper success are often just mental constructs shaped by what we've been taught is reasonable or acceptable. But what is actually true for you? Let yourself live more freely. Free to enjoy, to breathe, to love, and then all the beautiful things you need will begin to find you on their own. That voice inside saying, this is what I must do, or if I do this, I'll run into financial trouble. All of that is a belief system you've built and then lived by. But the world you want to live in? You can choose it entirely. Honestly, you don't even need fortune telling. You don't need a tarot reading. If in your heart, you already know, I want to do this, then that is enough. You don't need to ask, is it okay if I do this? Because that question only arises when you feel uncertain. But the truth is, you don't need anyone's permission. If you desire something deeply, the universe will rearrange itself to guide you there. And for that reason, to me, tarot is not fortune-telling. I don't see it as predicting fate. What I do here is simply try to be a gentle presence, a soft encouragement to support you at the moment when you're ready to do something, ready to change, or ready to find your way back to yourself. All I ever hope is that the things you haven't yet been able to see, the incredible potential within you, the radiant future that's waiting, might begin to reveal themselves through the cards. Not to say, this is exactly how your life will unfold, but to help you feel a little lighter, a little more confident about the path you've chosen. Because the most important thing isn't prediction. It's the moment you realize, I have the power. I can create the life I desire. And that's exactly why I do these readings. Not to tell fortunes, but to gently remind you, you already have what it takes to live in alignment with your dreams. And with all the beautiful cards that have appeared, trust that something magical is truly approaching you. Truly, you are amazing, really. You are the reason this message appeared. You are the one who drew this card into existence. That means you saw this message with your own inner vision. You attracted it. You aligned yourself with this outcome. In other words, this result already exists in the parallel world of your soul. So even if, at this moment, you feel like you don't need to meet anyone, don't need a partner or a soulmate, it could be that somewhere deeper inside you, there's still a quiet wish that someone, somewhere, the one might appear. And the truth is, they're out there. That person, when united with you, will take you further than anywhere you could go alone. They will show you a world that you could never have seen on your own. The perspective card is also saying, try shifting your perspective. That person may be carrying a vision you've never encountered before. And when the two of you come together, when two lives intertwine, you'll begin to see greatness that simply couldn't be accessed alone. That's why, right now, in work, in love, in life, you may truly be ready for a partner. Someone with whom your connection will be profound and enduring, not only for the present, but well into the future. And here's something remarkable. All of this is happening very quickly. Just 1 month from now. It's closer than you think. Yet everything seems to be aligning itself to move at exactly that pace. I drew one more card to complete the message. Windows, fusion, guest, Ellie, dance, leaves. Perhaps these are the keywords. And what I sense is this. There's no need to force things into perfection, no need to make everything fit seamlessly. It's okay if things don't appear polished or beautifully arranged. Let it be as it is, natural, ever-shifting, and filled with quiet magic. I sense that you're someone who carries a deep sense of seriousness. But seriousness is not a flaw. On the contrary, it's a beautiful trait. Still, on the other side of seriousness lies joy, playful creativity, and a childlike innocence. What matters most is that you allow yourself to carry both, the depth and the lightness, at the same time. It could be that the person who's about to enter your life is the one who will awaken that joy within you, someone who helps you let go of harsh self-judgment, break free from the rules you've always followed, and lift you out of the box you may have lived in for too long. They may come like a breeze, gently stirring everything around you, creating movement, music, and awakening your heart in a way it has never felt before. Because of that, your everyday life will begin to shimmer, more colorful, more alive, more vibrant. The Empress card also speaks to this, a world rich in emotion, overflowing with color, and deeply infused with beauty and creativity. Very soon, you may meet someone who stirs your heart profoundly, someone whose presence shakes your world just enough to bring it fully to life. And quite possibly, this is going to happen within the next month. Moreover, this encounter doesn't necessarily have to take the form of a specific person. It could arrive in the shape of a piece of art, a song, a sport, or an experience that completely captivates you. In other words, you're about to come across something truly mind-blowing, something that stirs your soul awake, shakes you to your core, and leaves you breathless with awe. It is this very moment of profound resonance that will begin to dissolve everything you've been trying to protect, your emotional defenses, your limits, your inner walls, and the unconscious beliefs you've long carried. I have a strong feeling that a pivotal, transformative event is approaching in your life. And when it happens, it may initially feel uncomfortable or even negative. But in truth, it will be the very doorway that leads you into your most remarkable transformation yet. You'll be met with multiple keys and opportunities like this in the coming days. For example, it might be the setting of a future encounter, or simply the emotional state you carry with you in everyday life. Any of these could become the spark that ignites something miraculous. And I sense a powerful wind is coming, a sudden gust, as if to blow open everything that's been stuck and unveil a whole new, unexpected path ahead. Whether it arrives through a person, a sudden shift, or a striking experience, it will feel like a wave crashing through your soul, launching you into a whole new chapter. The key here is, try changing your perspective. Try seeing things from a different angle. Sometimes, what we need most is the very opposite of what we've been clinging to. If there's something you consider a weakness in yourself, it may be time to turn your gaze toward the other end of that spectrum, to the very thing that might complete you or breathe new depth into your inner world. For instance, if you've always seen yourself as someone too serious, and that very seriousness makes life feel heavy, then try reconnecting with the pure emotions of childhood, joy that expects nothing in return, delight untouched by gain or loss, just the raw pleasure of being. Introduce into your life elements of playfulness, lightness, a little mischief, even a bit of rule-breaking. Blend the two parts of yourself, the grounded maturity and the untamed freedom, and do things in your own unique way, with your own unmistakable signature. When you dare to break free from the shell you've lived in for too long, you open a new door for yourself. And the magic lies in this. The moment you dare to weave in that opposing element, your life begins to feel fuller, more textured, more alive. Another example, if you're someone deeply kind, always giving, always gentle with others, that's beautiful. But if you live only from that one side of yourself, you can easily become drained. So, why not try embodying a bit of edge? A touch of coolness, a sense of style, a presence that carries quiet power? It's not about changing who you are, it's about enriching the way you show up in the world. When you integrate both softness and strength, you become more complete than ever before. When you deliberately turn toward what lies on the opposite end of your usual view, when you dare to shift your perspective, you begin to uncover how to live in alignment with your true essence and inner strengths. Though this reading may feel like it concluded more quickly than expected, that's only because the cards that showed up from the very beginning were incredibly potent, charged with powerful energy. So yes, some of you may still feel the lingering pull of the past, and it's true that certain memories continue to influence your present. Though it's a little late, I still feel called to return and speak briefly about that past. What was it that once drained your spirit? What pulled you back, made you feel stuck in place? What dulled your motivation? The card that appears here is the King of Pentacles, a symbol of success, influence, power, and material wealth. Perhaps what once left you weary was the pressure to succeed, to achieve a position recognized by society, to be someone who always gives, always leads, always holds it all together. But if you look closely at the figure in the card, you'll notice something. His expression is tense, almost burdened, as if he's straining to carry a responsibility that's far too heavy. In the era of Earth energy, the age of materialism, this figure was often idolized. Everyone aspired to be someone like him. Perhaps you once believed that only by becoming such a person would you be valued, acknowledged, respected. But now, in a different scene, where ripe grapes hang in abundance, do you see it? People are lifting their glasses together, celebrating the harvest, sharing joy. It's the same grapes, the same fruit of effort. But on one side, there is solitude and weight. On the other, there is gathering, happiness, and shared abundance. The man may be holding all those grapes for himself, but does that truly bring him joy? Perhaps what's been weighing you down all this time is not real responsibility, but expectation, the kind imposed by society, by others, or even by your own inner voice. Now is the time you are allowed to set that burden down, to live more lightly, more freely, and to share the sweetness of your journey with those you love. Setting aside the literal meaning of the card for a moment, what I want to say is this. For quite some time now, you may have been living in a world shaped by ownership and domination, a world where only a select few were allowed to enjoy the sweetness of success. A world governed by control, competition, and the belief that only those in power are worthy of recognition. Perhaps you were raised in such an environment, shaped by the expectations of society and the adults around you. And in that process, you've worked so hard to express yourself, to assert your individuality, to be seen, to be acknowledged. But no matter how hard you tried, your light, your beauty, they couldn't see it. They couldn't understand your brilliance because they were too consumed by greed, too intoxicated by power and self-interest, that they lost the ability to recognize beauty that doesn't stem from dominance. But that doesn't mean they were happy. In truth, they were suffering deeply. And there may have been a time when you thought you had to become like them, that only by entering that world could you be successful, could you be accepted. But the truth is, you were never meant to follow that path. You belong to a different world, a world aligned with the energy of air. A world where people share what they have. From ideas to accomplishments, nothing is owned forever. It's all meant to be gifts that nourish the collective. No one holds on to anything eternally. Power no longer matters. What truly counts is, what will you do with it? What will you nurture? What values will you pass on? And you are part of that new world. You are someone carrying the mission of the next era. And that's why the previous one, that heavy, earthbound world, may have felt so harsh to you. But you made it through. You survived. You walked that path. And now, whatever you've received, be it wealth, reputation, or influence, it is your well-earned reward for your resilience. But your journey doesn't end there. Because from here, a new calling awaits. To use what you've earned not for yourself alone, but to share it, to spread it, so that others too may be nourished, may rise, may flourish alongside you. Put simply, this means you will begin to share everything you've learned, your hard-earned skills, the ideas, the knowledge, and the wisdom you've gathered throughout your journey in life. You'll begin to expand these gifts outward, to spread them generously among others. You'll no longer keep them just for yourself. Maybe you've already started doing this, or perhaps you're about to start within the next month. The more you share what you've cultivated, the more generously you radiate your values, the more joy others will feel, and the more often you'll find yourself smiling. 2. Those who taste the richness of the wine you offer, the fruit of your labor and growth, will feel inspired, awakened. And from there, they too will begin to awaken in their own way. Perhaps you are someone who has been sent to this world to spark such awakenings. Because you have lived through a society steeped in competition and harsh lessons, because you've overcome so many challenges, you now see what truly matters. And now you are being called to pass that insight along, to show others how to survive in a shifting world, how to live without losing their kindness, compassion, or inner light. You don't just carry knowledge, you carry the wisdom of the universe. And now it's time for you to start transmitting that light, to illuminate the path ahead, not only for yourself, but for everyone who walks alongside you, with peace, awareness, and joy. This role of messenger, of one who brings forth messages, and this act of sharing what you possess with the world, may not have been something you could fully do before. You may have been held back by unseen constraints. Perhaps the person who once walked beside you wasn't a co-creator, but a fellow learner. And that connection or their presence may have been part of what restricted your potential. Not because they were wrong or bad, but because that was a phase of learning, of karmic exchange, of life's curriculum. Now that you have been released from that previous phase, you are stepping into an entirely new environment, one where you are free to share your talents, abilities, and all the wonderful things within you. From here, you will begin to reap sweet, fulfilling rewards. As you become abundant, both spiritually and materially, those around you will also be touched by that abundance. You will become the one who sows the seeds, the initiator of a widespread movement, perhaps forming a community, a circle of people who uplift and grow together in the light. A vivid image emerges. You are beginning to create your own community, not just to share but to ignite, to nurture, and to lead. The era of earth, of materialism, form, and power, has come to an end. But that does not mean the earth element is bad. Not at all. What you have learned and built during that time remains deeply valuable. It is thanks to that layer of earth that the wind can now blow across a solid foundation. For wind is light, soaring, and flexible. But without earth to take root in, to anchor it, it would become a chaotic storm, lost in direction. Therefore, the knowledge, experiences, and achievements you have worked so hard to cultivate during that era now serve as the very foundation, the grounding from which you can rise in this new era of air. All of it is necessary. And now is the time to weave it all together, to step into your true mission. The experiences and the growth you have cultivated over the years are not meant to be discarded or erased. What matters is preserving the essence, retaining the distilled wisdom of what you've learned, and bringing it into this new era, the era of air, with grace, flexibility, and lightness. It is this harmonious blend of earth and air that holds the key. And I believe many of you are holding the role of a connector, a bridge between the old era and the new one. And because of that, not just a month from now, but even right now, your life may already be transitioning into something truly beautiful. You are gradually returning to your most authentic self, becoming yourself more deeply, more clearly. And through this return to your truest essence, you will begin to attract into your life the things that are truly aligned, truly worthy. It will be a month of awakening, of illumination, of a dawn rising within the soul, a time that feels like receiving heartfelt congratulations while also wanting to gently say good morning to you. I'll close the reading for those who chose pile 2 here. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to click like and subscribe to support the channel. Your encouragement is a powerful source of motivation that helps me continue bringing more meaningful readings to you. If there was anything in today's message that touched your heart, please leave a comment, or even just a small emoji, to let me know it truly resonated with you. I treasure every single share and always look forward to hearing your thoughts. Thank you for staying with me until the end of the video. I'll see you again in the next reading. Hello to those of you who chose pile 3. Thank you for waiting. Now, I'll begin the reading for those who are drawn to the 3rd pile. I hope this reading brings you healing, fresh insights, and moments filled with love. The theme we're exploring today is, what will change in your life 1 month from now? After drawing the cards, the first thing I sensed from the current energies is that you're walking a rather safe path. It seems you've chosen a lifestyle that avoids risk and intense challenges, a steady, stable way of living with minimal uncertainty. It feels as though you're living a calm, consistent life. Everything moves smoothly, and you proceed at your own pace, carefully, deliberately, with a focus on sustainability. The image that comes through is one of solid rock, unshaken by external fluctuations or turbulence. For example, instead of choosing to step out into a competitive, fast-moving world to aggressively pursue growth, you may be focusing inward, on your home, your family life. Or in your relationships, you might be choosing to preserve peace, to avoid conflicts, and to steer clear of emotional extremes. This could be called a safe way of living, not necessarily negative, but not yet a place where your full potential is expressed. And I feel this choice doesn't stem from weakness or a lack of willpower, but rather from your deep appreciation for peace. You've likely gone through experiences that taught you to be more cautious. Yet precisely because of that, you're keeping yourself within a safe container, one where everything feels predictable, with few disruptions, but also one that makes it difficult to break through or make significant leaps forward in your life. For example, in your current romantic relationship, even if you don't truly feel deep passion or intense emotions toward your partner, you might still be thinking, I suppose I'll be happy if I stay with this person. And so, you choose to accept the present because it seems good enough, stable enough. I sense that many of you are quietly telling yourselves, this is fine as it is. Even though, deep down, there may still be a subtle sense of dissatisfaction or a feeling that something isn't quite right, you're trying to convince yourself that what you have now is sufficient. Some of you genuinely believe that, while others are simply trying to come to terms with it. In the position representing the past, the 6 of Cups appears, a card symbolizing nostalgia, old memories, and familiarity. This suggests that at some point, you achieved something you had longed for. You once touched something you had deeply desired, and that brought you peace, safety, and a sense of harmony, all of which are beautiful and meaningful. However, I feel that in recent months, perhaps in the past half year, you haven't been feeling much freshness, vitality, or the thrilling spark of the unknown. Instead, you felt safe. And because these are things you've grown used to, even if at times they carry a bit of negativity, you still find them bearable. Because the past is something that has already happened, something you've seen, lived through, it no longer feels threatening. Even if it doesn't excite or deeply fulfill you, at the very least, it's something familiar. And so, it offers a sense of security, even if that security exists within a limited space. Because of this, at this moment in your life, you may not feel the desire to challenge yourself or step outside your comfort zone. Or perhaps it's because you feel you've already faced enough challenges. Looking at your current surroundings, whether in your romantic relationship or in your living and working environment, I sense one thing clearly. Everything appears to be very solid, very stable. This is reinforced by the presence of the 8 of Pentacles, a card that strongly symbolizes sustained effort over time, steady construction, and a commitment to long-term stability. What's more, all the cards drawn belong to the Pentacles suit, which further emphasizes that you are currently living in a reality grounded in both material and emotional value. It's possible your heart feels fulfilled in some quiet, subtle way. For instance, in love, your partner may be someone genuinely sincere and serious about you, not someone fleeting or superficial, but a person who builds slowly and consistently with care and devotion. The things you've built together, whether in your relationship or career, offer you a deep sense of stability, safety, and a belief that this path is worth continuing. If this is about your work, you might be someone who is well-respected, someone your organization values and wants to retain because of your ongoing dedication. And in return, You may also feel that your work provides you with a sense of grounding, a trust that this is something you can commit to for the long haul. Simply put, the prevailing energy here is one of safety and steadiness. There are few disruptions or uncertainties. And for those who might feel somewhat unfulfilled, there's still an effort to convince themselves that this is good enough. On the other hand, if you truly feel grateful for what you have, then your present moment is actually one of deep harmony, with little worry, little doubt. A state that can best be described as quiet and steady. Therefore, if you are someone who has just gone through something deeply painful or have recently fallen into a heavy emotional state, this particular reading may not fully resonate with you. The energy in this pile leans more toward stability, toward a psychological state that isn't overly shaken or chaotic. That said, I also sense that some of you are considering starting something new, but this new beginning is built upon foundations you already know, things you've previously accumulated or become familiar with. In other words, you may be planning a new direction or transition, but it still lies within a realm you understand. You're not yet ready, or simply don't want, to step into completely unfamiliar territory, or to connect with people whose energy is vastly different from your own. What I clearly feel is this: you're placing a high value on safety. You are prioritizing what makes you feel secure and grounded. So, what will happen a month from now? The card suggests that some form of pressure will arise. It could be responsibility, the weight of a role you must take on, or a sense of being driven by external circumstances. But the crucial point is that the final outcome is represented by the world, a symbol of fulfillment, completion, and the closing of a major cycle. This means that although you may enter a phase that feels more demanding than your current one, it is precisely that experience which will lead you to a truly worthy destination, a place of wholeness, where a full circle is completed with purpose and clarity. In the guidance position, the King of Cups appears in reverse. Normally, this card represents emotional maturity, composure, and a heart vast enough to embrace all things. But in its reverse form, it brings a different message. Don't be afraid of being emotionally stirred. Don't try to suppress your feelings too tightly. Don't worry if there are moments when you feel unbalanced, when inner calm eludes you. Allow yourself to be moved. Allow yourself to be imperfect. Allow yourself to stumble a little. Because it is in that very wavering that you are truly living, truly experiencing. At times, emotional fluctuation is not a weakness. It is the doorway to growth and awakening. In other words, perhaps the message here is this: you are allowed to play more with life. Up to this moment, you've built so much. Trustworthy relationships, a stable position, routines so familiar they've become second nature. You might be thinking, maintaining this state is best. Continuing as things are now feels safe, and I'm content with it. And yet, even the distant sound of a car horn right now seems to echo like a wake-up call, as if life is whispering to you. It's time to add a little more spice, a touch of stimulation, a spark of vibrancy to your journey. Not because what you have isn't good, but because a new layer of experience is waiting. This doesn't have to be a grand spiritual awakening. It can simply be a gentle invitation. Do something different, something a little more refreshing. Let a new breeze blow through your world. Because only then will you truly touch the fullness of your completeness. And so, let us now look more closely at the changes that will unfold in the coming month. The Queen of Cups appears, a symbol of a heart full of emotion, of gentleness, compassion, and care. This is the energy of someone who lives by intuition, who leads with the heart, and who connects deeply with others. Following this comes a card bearing the message: create, a call to expand, to refresh, to bring something new into the world that springs from the depth of your authentic feelings. And right after that, a card signaling upcoming change, affirming that yes, things are about to shift. And that makes perfect sense, as we're speaking of the near future, just within a month. Next come a series of cards radiating incredibly positive energy, abundance, a symbol of prosperity and overflowing richness. Two of Cups, the emblem of love, harmonious partnership, and a deep soul connection. You may find yourself entering a relationship that brings profound healing and resonance. Or, if you are already with someone, your relationship could evolve into a deeper, more trusting, and more bonded phase. And finally, the image of the house, a representation of solid foundations, safety, and lasting security. This signifies that even as changes unfold, you are not losing anything. On the contrary, stability remains present. Only now, it rises to a more meaningful, more abundant level. So, if you've been thinking about changing jobs, moving to a new environment, or opening your heart to someone new? The answer is, don't worry. These changes are bringing love and prosperity. And all of it will come naturally, without shaking your foundation or robbing you of the steadiness you hold dear. You are worthy of a journey that is both soothing and alive. The Queen of Cups appears once more, reinforcing themes of love, healing, and deep emotional intuition. And when I look at the overall energy of the spread, I feel clearly that 1 month from now, you will let go of something. You'll leave behind a place, a state, or a version of yourself, and move forward. At the same time, you will step into a new connection marked by creativity and collaboration, where you and another person will resonate with each other, support one another, and co-create something meaningful. What's special is that this person you'll connect with seems to be quite different from you. They may have a contrasting mindset, perspective, or life purpose. And yet, it is exactly these differences that allow you to complement and uplift each other, like two pieces completing a whole. You may not be alike, but you are aligned. Different, yet in harmony. And it is this interplay that makes both of you stronger, more complete, as you journey together. In some cases, this image of shared responsibility may even hint at the sacred expansion of welcoming a child, a deeply spiritual and transformative bond. But it doesn't have to be limited to romantic love. This union could also represent a professional partnership, a creative collaboration, or a shared path in a new vocation. Regardless of the context, the message is clear. You are leaving something behind, to embrace something greater, something deeply connected and profoundly meaningful. And that's when the question arises, what will you let go of? The Page of Swords appears in reverse, a gentle reminder that what you need to release is the habit of always listening to your mind while neglecting the true voice of your heart. The Page of Swords, in its upright form, symbolizes courage, honesty, and a life guided by inner impulses. But in reverse, it reveals that you may have been suppressing yourself, choosing what you should do over what you truly want. You may have lived according to what you believed was right, by rules, expectations, or external standards, without fully allowing yourself to follow the longing of your heart. But now a new door is opening, and to walk through it, you must shed that protective shell. Be more honest with your emotions. Have the courage to admit what you desire, what you need, and what you are truly worthy of. The coming month could be a turning point, gentle, yet profound. When you loosen your grip on what has been holding you back, you'll discover that what awaits is not just a resonant relationship, but your own self, your most authentic, loving self. Perhaps, in the past, you resisted your true emotions, as if there was always a whisper inside saying, I want this, but you kept denying it. You may have lived in a state of inner conflict, constantly at odds with yourself, struggling to conform to something or to please someone else. But now, the message is crystal clear. You will release all of that. You'll stop trying to convince yourself that you have to be a certain way or do certain things. You'll stop forcing yourself into rigid molds. Instead, you will begin to act from the deepest part of your heart, from your true desire. You will make choices grounded in honesty, rather than exhausting yourself by accepting what quietly drains your soul. And through that, you will finally walk away from the things you've been enduring. Whether it's a job, a relationship, or any situation you've held on to simply because it felt like the right thing to do, but not the real thing you longed for. Now you will begin to live in truth, and that truth will open a brand new door. Right after you let go, a significant person will appear, someone who will join you in creating something meaningful. The specifics may not yet be clear, but the connection carries a spirit of collaboration and mutual upliftment. It's not a relationship where one carries the weight while the other leans in passively, but rather a partnership of shared effort, shared energy, and shared passion. This relationship holds a rare kind of balance. The two of you seem to be standing on the same frequency, the same dimension, the same heartbeat. And because both of you are vibrating on the same wavelength, it is only now that you are able to meet. Or perhaps it's because the energy of the world, of the earth itself, has shifted, allowing this connection to evolve more swiftly and deeply. Something miraculous is waiting to be born, and you and this person are the very elements destined to bring that miracle into form. However, with miracles come responsibilities. The two of you won't just share sweetness and harmony, you will also shoulder something significant together, a mission, a project, a new beginning. At that very moment, two cards jump out, the Three of Cups and the King of Wands in reverse. The Three of Cups speaks of joy, community, celebration, and meaningful bonds. But paired with the reversed King of Wands, It serves as a gentle warning. Don't let ego or impatience disrupt the shared current. Balance and mutual respect are essential on this journey. You are standing at the threshold of a miracle. But that miracle will only unfold when you truly let go of your old masks and step into this new life with the most honest, open heart, and when you and your companion begin creating something far beyond anything you've ever imagined. Looking at these cards, what I feel strongly is that the relationship between you and this person, whether romantic, platonic, or professional, is not one of leader and follower. Rather, it is a partnership, a shared journey of co-creation, where both of you are immersed in the process and take joy in it together. The Three of Cups in this context isn't just about celebration and social connection. It represents the joy of being bonded, of experiencing life hand in hand with another. Because of this, it's possible that your relationship with this person is now entering a transformative phase. It's no longer about who holds the dominant role, but about both of you coming into an awareness, perhaps an awakening to your life's purpose or a deep recognition of your soul's calling. And from that awakening, you will come together to carry that shared mission forward. It seems that what the two of you have been entrusted with is not merely a connection, but the creation of something miraculous, something that can only come into being when the two of you unite your energies. This might be a creative project, a spiritual journey, a purpose-driven venture with wide-reaching impact, or simply a form of connection that inspires others and brings light into their lives. And so, the perfect card appears, a message affirming that the two of you are two halves forming a complete whole. This connection doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be a soulmate-like friendship, a kindred collaborator, or someone destined to walk with you through a significant chapter of life. But whatever form it takes, one thing is certain. This is not a random encounter. It is a convergence of destiny. Interestingly, the final card to appear is Falling Fast. Love happens quickly, but don't lose yourself in the process. This suggests that the bond between you and this person may deepen at remarkable speed, everything unfolding as though preordained, flowing so seamlessly it feels almost unreal. And precisely because of that, you are reminded to stay anchored in yourself. Don't lose your identity. Don't forget the core of who you are, for it is your true essence that makes this connection so extraordinary. And the most beautiful part is this. Once the two of you begin to act, whether in love, in work, or in a shared spiritual calling, abundance, prosperity, and fulfillment will come swiftly. Very soon, you'll witness everything beginning to blossom, as though a miracle is being activated by the meeting of two souls vibrating at the same frequency. Within just 1 month, you will likely witness powerful movement in relationships that once felt stagnant. Or you may encounter someone truly special, someone carrying the energy of destiny, a perfect counterpart, through a moment that seems entirely unexpected. This moment in time is truly a phase where fated connections are being activated, and everything is set to unfold at an incredibly rapid pace. There will be hardly any time for analysis. It will simply happen, and you will find yourself swept into it in the most natural way. However, the reminder here is this. No matter how intense the emotions, no matter how passionately you enter a blazing love or an irresistibly magnetic connection, do not allow yourself to be carried away. Stay centered within yourself. Hold firm to your values, your unique color, and your authentic essence. Because the relationship you are about to step into is not one where one leads and the other follows. It is a union of two individuals, each with their own identity, coming together to complement and uplift one another. And so, the more you are able to maintain a healthy sense of self, to protect and radiate your own light, the more magical and enduring this connection will become. You may fall into a love that burns brightly, a love that arrives swiftly, dives deep, and ignites passionately. Or perhaps your current relationship will evolve quickly into something more intimate, more bonded. In any case, always remember, do not lose yourself in the journey. Don't become so blended into the other person that you forget the voice of your own heart. The image of the house symbolizes the act of building a solid foundation together, a safe haven from which both of you can grow. Alongside it come powerful themes: courage, strength, and bravery. Not in the sense of battle or resistance, but as the willingness to forge a new path together, to break through limitations, and to bring something beautiful into the world as a team. This relationship is not merely about love. It is about co-creation. It's about building something that carries weight and meaning. Without exaggeration, this is a connection of purpose. The two of you have not found each other solely for emotional fulfillment, but because your souls have been called to unite and give rise to something extraordinary on this planet. And yes, the scale of this connection is vast, and you are absolutely capable of being a vital part of that grand journey. It feels as though these are two people capable of shaking the very world, a connection so vast, it seems it could move the earth itself. And perhaps it is because both of you have simultaneously powerful astrological factors present in your birth charts that this feeling is so strong. What I sense clearly is that, despite carrying the potential to create monumental shifts, the two of you also deeply value and aspire to the most ordinary joys in life. It is precisely this harmony between the revolutionary and the simple that makes this bond so extraordinary. The Ace of Winter appears, a card symbolizing the beginning of thought, truth, or action driven by clarity and intellect. Then comes the Bridge of Swords, a message that there are things you cannot accomplish alone, but with both of you united, strength and courage are awakened. I feel this message strongly echoed once more. When the two of you are together, even the impossible becomes possible. I truly wish to dive deeper and explore exactly what the two of you will create, but as I drew more cards, the signs turned ambiguous, as if the answer is not meant to be revealed just yet. The cards seemed to say, "You will understand when you meet. If you don't meet, you simply won't know." As though the insight and unfolding will come naturally with the progression of this relationship. Therefore, it can be said that you absolutely have the right to envision the world you want to see. Even if that feels bold or selfish or like asking for too much, you are allowed. Because from that honest and daring desire, a new reality will begin to take form. Whether this connection unfolds through work or love, what's being spoken of here is this: when the two of you come together and the bond deepens, miracles will begin to unfold. Along with them will come abundance, a sense of peace, and a strong foundation in life, all arriving as well-deserved rewards. But the important point is this: such extraordinary things cannot be mapped out in advance. This isn't about a predetermined task the two of you are meant to do together, it is about the unique alchemy that happens only between you. Perhaps that's why, no matter how many more cards are drawn, they refuse to reveal specifics. Because these wonders, these near-magical moments, will only be born through your union, in that precise moment, at the exact point when your energies truly fuse and resonate. So perhaps, what lies ahead is a gift waiting to be unwrapped. One thing that stands out in the energy of this message is that the things which once only lived in your imagination, things that had no shape, things that used to feel like distant dreams, are now beginning to take form. Especially through the masculine energy in this reading, representing action, the material world, there's an emphasis that what once seemed like if only, maybe someday, or how wonderful it would be if, will now begin to manifest in tangible, visible ways. In other words, the message is clear: when the two of you combine your forces, you can turn what once seemed like mere ideas into living, breathing reality, something you can touch, see, and build upon. In the realm of love, this might mean bringing a child into the world, both in the literal and symbolic sense. In a collaborative pursuit, it means the project, the shared vision, will begin to take shape, moving from dream into form. Because this is something grounded, meaning it's not just a dream, but something that can truly bring wealth and prosperity on a material level. A kind of tangible success, something visible, something you can hold in your hands, not just a spiritual or emotional triumph. That's why I feel these two individuals likely carry very strong creative energy. One of you may be an artist, or perhaps both are engaged in creative fields. But even if neither of you work in the arts, you are both people who know how to shape your own reality. Personally, I believe that all of us are artists in the canvas of our own lives. Because with every breath, every choice, each of us is constantly creating the life we live. So, what the two of you are going to create together doesn't have to be a traditional work of art. It could be a world, a family, a community, a shared journey, anything you've both envisioned in your hearts and longed to make real. Ultimately, this reveals something very clear: the ideal world you once imagined, the one where you thought, how wonderful it would be to live like that. Through this connection, you'll begin to bring it into reality, step by step. And I believe this is something your heart has always deeply yearned for. There's a sense that right now, you may still feel like you're suspended in the air. Things aren't yet defined. The details of what's to come are still hazy. And because of that, I truly wish I could speak more specifically, more clearly, and tell you exactly what will change in the next month. But even just this, what's been revealed so far, is already something incredibly profound. Because what you once thought of as a distant ideal, what you once wished could somehow become real, is now beginning to take shape. And more importantly, you won't be alone on that journey. There will be someone walking beside you, helping you bring that vision to life. It could be that this person is someone entirely new who is about to enter your life. Or it might be someone you're already connected with, someone with whom your relationship will begin to deepen and evolve into something far more meaningful. When the Rider card appears, a symbol of swift news, sudden arrivals, and new beginnings, it signals that, within the next month, someone will step into your world. And not just in a passing way. This is someone who will play a pivotal role, someone who could become your #1 partner in the future. They may be the one to initiate contact, perhaps as someone who reaches out to express romantic interest, or someone who presents you with a proposal for collaboration. If viewed through the lens of career or creative pursuits, this could manifest as a surprising opportunity, an offer that seems to come out of nowhere. Someone may have been watching your progress quietly from afar, recognizing your value, and is now ready to approach you, perhaps with a job offer or a project that takes you completely by surprise. A kind of headhunting, as though they've been waiting for the right moment to bring you in. Whether it unfolds in love or in work, the message is the same. This person will be the one to come toward you. You won't need to chase or force anything. This beginning carries the weight of destiny, as if the universe is already aligning the pieces so that the two of you can find one another and embark on a new chapter together. And not just a tentative beginning, but one that is clear and decisive, as though they're arriving in your life with the intent to build something meaningful and lasting by your side. Indeed, this person will be the one who takes the first step toward you. And according to the message from the cards, I see signs of destiny, challenges, the fox, a symbol of strategy, competition, or calculation, and the presence of a rival, representing either an opponent or a third party involved. However, what matters most is this. All of these issues are already on their way to being resolved. I sense that between you and this person, there is some factor acting as a barrier. It might be a third party, or it could be circumstantial. It may be an unresolved past relationship, a complicated family situation, a geographical distance, an age gap, or simply a work environment that doesn't allow the two of you to openly connect. Whatever it is, the message here is clear. This barrier will begin to dissolve within the next month. Things will start to loosen and untangle. The other person, your counterpart, will be the one to take action. They will initiate the shift, taking that crucial first step, as if the wheel of fate is finally starting to turn. The appearance of the Clouds card, representing uncertainty, delay, and fog, suggests that until now, you may have found yourself in a state of waiting, suspended in a limbo where nothing was certain or clearly defined. A place where patience was required and ambiguity had to be endured. However, the next card, Reverse Lovers, brings a very different energy. It signifies release, severance, and a necessary ending. With this, the message becomes unmistakably clear. The ambiguity, the stagnation, is coming to an end. You and this person will no longer have to live in the haze of not knowing. Instead, obstacles will be lifted, barriers will dissolve or retreat. And because you've waited for so long, because you've carried the weight of uncertainty with quiet endurance, what is now arriving will feel like a powerful affirmation that the waiting had purpose, that every delay was leading here, and that what's coming is truly, undeniably worth it. I feel that this message is speaking, above all, about love. But even if you are asking about your career or a specific professional path, the essence of the message remains unchanged. The things that have held you back, whether people, circumstances, fears, or lack of clarity, will soon be resolved. You are stepping into a new phase, where the road ahead becomes clearer, where you no longer have to hide, endure, or tiptoe around obstacles. At last, you'll be free to move toward what you truly desire. Yes, the message is unmistakably clear. You are about to be released from what has been wearing you down or causing you anxiety. Is there something you've thought to yourself, if only this wasn't here, everything would be easier? Are you carrying something like that right now? Perhaps a lingering health issue, financial burdens, or something more subtle that makes you feel unsettled or unable to fully relax. Those elements, whether tangible or invisible, are now beginning to be lifted. And that release will come through the connection between you and your companion. When the two of you enter a truly aligned partnership, whether it's someone new or someone already by your side, it is through their presence that you will begin to free yourself from what once confined you. And as I've emphasized before, this isn't limited to romantic love. It may apply to any significant connection in your life. Someone is coming to walk this path with you, or if they are already here, then the relationship between you will shift into a deeper, clearer, more meaningful phase. Even for those who are already married, this message carries the meaning of a new awareness, a quiet affirmation in your heart that says, yes, this is the person I'm meant to walk through life with. The doubts that may have lingered in the past, questions like, is this truly the one? Or can we really make it to the end together? Will now begin to dissolve. A card carrying the energy of resolution has appeared, signaling that what was once vague, hidden, or uncertain will soon come to light. Within the next month, you will receive an answer. And not just an answer, but a release. Something will come to an end, perhaps a relationship, a situation, a location, something you must part ways with in order to begin a new journey. Because only by letting go of the old can you fully welcome the new that's trying to arrive. All that was once unclear will now be made transparent. And more importantly, the person you've been thinking of, the one in your heart, will step forward with clarity and conviction. They will no longer remain silent or ambiguous. They will rise and show you, unmistakably, that they are serious and ready to walk this path with you. The presence of this card also signifies that someone is coming, not to complete you as if you were lacking, but to amplify your energy in ways that are exponentially powerful. Of course, you are already whole on your own, entire, radiant, and enough. But when the two of you come together, the energy you generate will be multiplied 1,000-fold, a resonance so strong it forms a connection that cannot be replaced. That is why I feel so deeply that this powerful companion is already on their way to you. Looking at the cards, I also sense something else. Perhaps you are someone who once thought, I'm fine on my own. I can be happy by myself. Maybe you've gone through a phase where you gave up on the idea of love, simply because you were tired of connections that led nowhere. Perhaps you once loved someone deeply but received no response, or were stuck in a stagnant relationship that never truly moved forward, so you decided to stop expecting, to let go, and focus instead on building a good life for yourself, creating your own happiness from within. And that's exactly why what's about to happen may come as a surprise. The person you once liked, or even loved deeply, might return and approach you, perhaps with a confession of love, or even a proposal. But it's also very possible that someone entirely new will appear, someone who brings a completely different kind of energy, someone you never expected, yet turns out to be the missing piece you've been waiting for. Whoever it is, the core message remains the same. The emotional stability you've longed for, the peace, the steady connection, the calm assurance deep in your soul, will continue to grow and take root. You don't need to worry. The road ahead is not one of solitude. And even though you've already learned how to live well on your own, this time, life is offering you someone to live well with, someone to double your happiness and walk with you into a new, grounded, and love-filled chapter. Even if a significant change is coming, it won't bring with it financial instability or shake your sense of belonging. The cards have made it very clear. You don't need to fear these things. Because as you step into this new phase, everything will still be within the bounds of your safety and security. There is no loss, no sacrifice of stability, and nothing that will leave you feeling unsettled. However, in the coming month, as you step into a deeper connection with someone, it's natural that things won't remain as easy or as fully in your control as they were when you were single. You will need to commit, to take responsibility within the relationship, and that might feel like taking on an extra layer of pressure. Living alone is undoubtedly more freeing, more comfortable in some ways. But the important thing is this. The cards are saying that you and this person are being divinely guided to come together for something far greater than just yourselves. You are being brought together to combine your strengths, to co-create something extraordinary. And not just on an emotional level, but through tangible results. Together, the two of you could create a project, build a family, or carve out an entirely new path. Once your energies merge, things will begin to move, and they will move powerfully. This is the moment for both of you to step into that process. So if you've been thinking, I don't need love anymore, or I've decided to do everything on my own, then I'm sorry, but it seems the universe is saying otherwise. The energy of the cards is incredibly clear. What you believe to be comfort in solitude may not be what truly serves you at this time. Try making a wish, anything your heart longs for. Now is a powerful time to write it down or speak it aloud. And then another message appears. Your ancestors, your family of light, are watching over you. One thing that would be deeply meaningful right now is to reconnect with your ancestral roots. If possible, Visit your ancestors' resting place. And if you've already done so this year, rest assured, they have received your offering and are quietly sending you gratitude and blessings in return. They are protecting you, encouraging you, and guiding the way for all that's to come. Our ancestors, those who came before us, are always overjoyed and supportive whenever we choose to live in alignment with what we truly desire. Because the very dreams we yearn to fulfill today are often the same dreams our ancestors once carried in their hearts, but were unable to realize due to the limitations of their time. So, when a descendant, a grandchild, a great-grandchild, or even someone many generations removed, can live brightly and boldly in pursuit of their own truth, that becomes the greatest source of joy and fulfillment for those who came before us. Therefore, if you are about to begin something new, or if you're longing to meet someone who will walk this path with you, or hoping for your current relationship to take the next step, then even if you surrender it all to the universe, remember this: turning to your ancestors each morning, placing your hands together in gratitude, is a deeply meaningful act. Thank them for watching over and protecting you. And after that, speak your wish aloud with courage. You can absolutely entrust your heartfelt desires to your ancestors. There is nothing wrong in doing so. While some may say that when visiting temples or ancestral graves, one should only offer gratitude and never make requests, rest assured, expressing your wishes is a natural and welcomed act. Because your family of light, not just your ancestors but also the angels, spirit guides, and higher beings, are always listening to the longings of your heart. They rejoice when you dare to dream. And by helping your dreams come true, they too are accumulating merit, in a symbolic sense, like an energetic exchange between dimensions. There is a sacred reciprocity at work here. When you grow, they evolve. When you shine, they are illuminated. And when you step boldly into the life you desire, you honor every soul that came before you. This world is shaped by the things you believe to be true. And it is from those very beliefs that everything begins to take form. Whether or not you believe wholeheartedly doesn't matter. But if you allow yourself to believe that you are allowed to ask, to hope, and to receive support from the sources of light, then the universe will begin to respond to that belief. So right now, what is it that you wish to ask of your family of light? Try to say it or write it down. Don't hold back. They are listening. Your wish will be heard, and it will be supported so it can manifest. Your ancestors, along with your family of light, the souls and beings who watch over you from the higher realms, will be the ones guiding you closer to what your heart longs for. Even if you feel that you can't do it alone, they will lead you to the one who can walk beside you, the one who will help you transform what once felt impossible into something entirely within reach. Behind the scenes of your current reality, they've already been preparing everything. The shift has already begun. So don't hesitate. Trust and start moving forward. There is also something very special being mentioned now: prana, a concept often described as the vital life force present in the air, in the light, in each breath. Simply by breathing, you are receiving prana. And by absorbing prana, you are nourishing yourself with the purest form of living energy, sustaining your vitality, your clarity, and your connection to higher sources of light. And as your level of consciousness continues to rise, you'll begin to realize that this physical body can be sustained and nourished primarily through prana, the life force energy, not just through tangible matter. To reach that state, you'll need to continuously expand your vibrational frequency. This means gradually purifying your mind, living in alignment with your true self, and maintaining a spirit that is clear, light, and deeply connected. That's why I sense you may already be living from a very elevated state of awareness. You might not consciously recognize it, but your soul is already resonating with higher realms of light. And because of that, a profound soul connection, an irreplaceable bond, a singular soul partner, is slowly being drawn toward you. If you feel ready, consider exploring the concept of the twin ray, a perfectly aligned soul counterpart, or those who share a sacred destiny with you. You might find that in videos or messages about divine partnerships or twin rays, certain truths will be illuminated, helping you see more clearly what you're approaching and who is truly drawing near to you in this lifetime. Right now, you are in a state of powerful attraction. And once again, the keyword prana, life energy, rises to the surface. A message is gently being transmitted. Consider adjusting your diet slightly. You might begin to feel drawn to consuming less or choosing lighter, plant-based foods. Naturally, staying grounded in your body is still important, so incorporating small amounts of animal-based food from time to time may still be necessary. But you may start to feel, quite naturally, I don't need as much as before. What matters most is this: eat what you truly feel called to eat. Even if it's fast food, the key is to nourish yourself with what your body genuinely needs, at the moment you need it, and in the right amount. Of course, if possible, it's beneficial to maintain a light, easy-to-digest diet. But don't force yourself. Each person's body requires different nutrients, and your intuition knows best. For instance, if you've been living a very clean lifestyle, eating only healthy, strictly regulated foods, it might be that your body now needs a touch of different energy to restore balance, such as a small amount of animal product or something indulgent and less perfect to help you harmonize. On the other hand, if you've been consuming heavier foods, rich in animal protein or difficult to digest, perhaps now is the time to lighten up and allow your body to reset. Everything is about balance. There is no need to strictly follow any fixed model. At the same time, in order to fully receive prana, the life energy, you need to harmonize two sources of power: the higher frequencies, your connection to spiritual realms, and grounding, your presence and rootedness in the physical world. If you lean too far into one side, for example, focusing only on spirituality while neglecting the body, or being consumed by the material while ignoring your inner world, imbalance will inevitably occur. So, pay closer attention to both your diet and your sleep. And more importantly, don't confine yourself too tightly to what society or theory defines as correct. Advice like go to bed by 10 p.m. or eat at these scientifically recommended hours may be ideal for someone else, but that doesn't guarantee it's right for you. Your body and your rhythm are part of a unique system, and you are the one who understands it best. Let your intuition lead the way. Live according to your own rhythm, gently, consciously. Because when you live in alignment with your true self, you are also living in resonance with the highest vibration of the universe. Yes, it seems you may be limiting yourself in some way, and now is the time to release those limitations. When you dismantle the mental barriers within, even the obstacles that once seemed to block your path will begin to dissolve effortlessly or vanish entirely. Everything begins with thought, with the belief system you carry inside. When you impose too many constraints on yourself, those same limitations will naturally extend to your relationships, especially in love. So try to let go of fixed ideas like, this shouldn't be done, or I must be this way. Give yourself the freedom to be softer, more fluid. As the mind becomes lighter, you will also begin to receive the stream of life energy, prana, more naturally, through every breath, in every moment. I sense that you are currently undergoing a transition into a new layer of awareness. A doorway is opening, and your inner world is shifting to prepare for the next dimension of being. So please, take time to reconnect with all that has just been shared, and begin to gently attune your attention in that direction. For those who chose this pile, I sense that a profound shift is approaching. A powerful transformation in the way you live, love, and connect. And what's especially significant is this: the energetic presence of the twin, your soul's mirror, your perfectly resonant counterpart, is coming through with remarkable clarity. Although I haven't spoken much about the concept of twin rays or twin flames recently, this time it arises naturally and undeniably as a sign too strong to ignore. That's because right now, the vibrational frequency of all humanity is changing. The rhythm of life is shifting, and with it, the nature of relationships is also evolving. The definitions of love, of soul union, of two beings walking side by side, all of these are being redefined in deeper, freer, and more expansive ways. So if you've been feeling something stir within you, an unexplainable resonance, a mysterious inner calling, it's very likely that you're nearing a relationship woven with destiny. A soul-level connection that can only be accessed by those who have already traveled through multiple layers of awakening. And you, yes, you, seem to be one of those rare souls. That's why I believe many of you are about to step into an entirely new kind of relationship, one that is completely different from anything you've experienced before. A connection that brings awakening, companionship, and the profound sense of finally arriving where you belong. For many of you, the union with your twin, the destined soul counterpart, may be drawing near. And while it may sound too soon to unfold within just a month, the cards like very soon and falling fast are clearly pointing to acceleration. When you are truly ready, and when your desire comes from the heart, it all begins to unfold far more quickly than you ever imagined. Congratulations! A new journey is unfolding before you, and I'm genuinely excited to hear your news 1 month from now. I look forward to the beautiful story you are about to write. This concludes the reading for those who chose Pile 3. If anything I shared today offered you insight or simply brought you a sense of joy, Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click like to support my work. Thank you so much for staying with me all the way to the end of the video. Wishing you a peaceful and lucky day ahead. I'll see you again in the next reading.